Siebold, back with publicspeakersblog.com. I really believe it should be every author, speaker's goal to write the 100-year book. The book that lasts 100 years, that spans at least 4 generations beyond your own lifetime. A book that is still helping people when you're gone. I think that would be the ultimate goal. It's my ultimate goal to leave a legacy of ideas and concepts that can help people in their lives. I mean, if you look at some of the books that are really 100-year books, you've got As a Man Thinketh, one of the great books of all time. You've got Think and Grow Rich. This is the edition Bob Proctor gave to me. There's so many editions of this book, but this is one of the greatest books of all time. This is going to span longer than 100 years. Imagine if you had written this book. Some of the books I think will last, and you know Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. There are other books that are 100-year books. Not that many in our business and the personal development space, but some of the books I think will last 100 years. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. A great book. Came out in 1986. I read it the first week it was out in 86, and I've told Dr. Helmstetter about this many times, that I love this book. This book will last 100 years because it's that good. It's not a regurgitation of anything else. It's good. Dr. Helmstetter did his research, and he wrote one of the great books of all time in the personal development space. How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling, Frank Betcher, who was one of Bill Gove's, my late business partners, great friends, and amazing, amazing book. If you've never read this book and you're selling at any level, you're an entrepreneur, you need to read this book. This book is probably already 70 years old. It's a phenomenal book. It's going to be a 100-year book. And one of the books I believe will be a 100-year book is, I lost the cover, but Focal Point by the great Brian Tracy, my old friend and mentor. I think this is one of the most underrated books in personal development history. This is a classic. Brian's written a lot of great books, but this is one of the great books. I lost the cover because I've been reading this book for so many years and taking notes. This is my personal edition, and you can see I've got all kinds of all kinds of highlighted pages over the years and notes and stuff, because this is one of the greatest books of all time. Focal Point by Brian Tracy. You have to read this book. And it's a 100-year book. My best shot. This is my dream for a legacy. People talk about legacy in this business. I think write a great personal development book, so when you're gone, people are still reading it around the world and learning from you. What better legacy than could you possibly have? I'm just going to take a shot here. I may be overreaching, but I think one of my chances is the 177 Mental Toughest Secrets book. This book has been sold all around the world every single day, nonstop, 7 days a week for the last 16 straight years. So I'm hoping maybe I make the 100-year list of the book. It's aspirational by far. One of my other books I think has a chance is How Rich People Think. This book's been sold all over the world, more than 1 million copies, and I'm hoping it'll last as a 100-year book. And then maybe one that might make it, might not, is Secret Self-Made Millionaires Teach Their Kids. I made the front of Money magazine when it first came out a couple years ago. And it's all based on research of self-made millionaires, 30 years of interviews with self-made millionaires and what they teach their kids that other people don't, that the middle class, let's say socioeconomic middle class, does not. And I think that's going to carry some weight. I don't know. I'll be dead. I won't know if it lasts 100 years or not. But those are my hopes. And I really believe that all of us as author speakers, that people that write books are thought leaders, not thought followers. This business, you guys, as I've talked about before in other posts, this business is loaded with people who are followers. They just regurgitate the great books like, Focal Point and Think and Grow Rich and As a Man Thinketh. They're just regurgitating things that were said 100 years ago. How about saying something with a different twist, in a different way, with a different angle, a different point of view that grabs people that these previous books that are great did not? That's becoming a thought leader. That's being a thought leader. And then your words and your ideas and your concepts will outlast your lifetime. Imagine if 100 years from now, people are still reading your book, as they are with James Allen's As a Man Thinketh. I mean, you can't read that book too many times. It's that good. It's a 100-year book plus. So I think we should all have that goal. I know it's my goal. Those are my 3 candidates right now. I've still got books to write. Not all my books. Most of my books I wouldn't put in that category just based on the sales. But these books I think have a shot. and think about what book you could write that would have a chance to be a 100-year book. Man, that gets me excited. I hope it does you too, because that means you've literally made an impact on the world if a book lasts for that many years all around the world, even when you're gone. That, my friends, is leaving a legacy. Thanks for watching the blog. I look forward to your comments. See you next time.